with Jimmy Clark.
Hey, good day to all you great stewards of the land. It is Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark, brought to you by First National Bank and Trust of Elk City in Sayre, Oklahoma. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Um, eh, my day ain't the greatest, but it ain't the worst either. So I've hauled 2 loads of calves for one of my landlords to the sale barn this morning. Second load, I was trying to jump up in a hurry and get a gate shut on the trailer when a piece of 2 3/8 pipe got in my way. And it's left a knot on my head. So if I sound kind of weird today, it's because I got a headache. so, yeah. So, man, those lines at the sale barn, when I got there with the first load this morning wasn't bad. I seen some trailers coming or going, but I was the only one. But when I come back for that second load, holy moly, they're lined up. He has not quit taking cows as of about an hour ago, or cows or bulls, but he said it's coming. He let me know as soon as they shut it down. My The best advice I can give anybody, if you were going to bring a cow or some cows or a bull to the sale barn and you hadn't called Brandon yet at Elk City Livestock Auction, please do call, and that way you won't be mad when you get there and they're not taking them. So there's that. Anyway, they got me unloaded and pretty quick. Paperwork done. Everything's good. We had our Christmas party here at Paragon Communications last night out at Simon's Catch. It was all good. Some fun times with the Dirty Santa and gifts going on. Mine was small, but it was potent. So my wife gave me a bottle of essential oils, and I gift wrapped it in a little bag of little paper sack with some wrapping around it, and then I threw a cow tag in there. So they said not anything new, so that's the best I could do on that deal. Well, let's check out some temperatures. Looks like the Panhandle's pretty warm today. Looks like Boise City is 74, Slap Out 70, Oklahoma, you're 60, Camargo 61, Eric 61, Mangum 62, and Tipton is 62 degrees. Out here in the Panhandle of Texas, 67 at Lipscomb, 71 at Miami, 63 at Wellington, and 62 at Odell. Okay, let's see what happened overnight in our big old world of agriculture. Wheat and corn futures were higher in overnight trading on rising tensions in the Black Sea. Ukraine said it disabled a Russian tanker using drones, its third drone strike in the past 2 weeks. The attack was on the so called shadow fleet of ships involved in the Russian oil trade. The ship was critically damaged, but no injuries were reported, according to media reports. Leaders from several countries are set to hold a video conference today to discuss a revised peace plan between Ukraine and Russia. Also boosting prices overnight was some technical buying after prices dropped in Wednesday trading. Investors who were short the market may have bought back contracts and closed their positions. Wheat was, let's see here, what was wheat? Wheat was lower yesterday after the USDA on Tuesday raised its outlook for global output. World wheat production in 25-26 marking year is now seen at 837.8 million metric tons. That's up from 821 previously. Production in Argentina now is pegged at 24 million tons. Australia is pegged at 37. The USDA raised its forecast for production in Canada to 39.96 million metric tons, and that's up from 37 million tons previously. Wheat futures for March delivery in Chicago came up 4 3/4 cents to 5.34 and a quarter a bushel. Whoa, my screen's moving on me. While Kansas City futures added 4.5 to 5.27 3/4. Corn futures added 3.5 cents to 4.47 3/4. Soybean futures for January delivery gained 2 cents to 10.93 1/4 a bushel. Soy meal was up 2.20 to 3.0340 a short ton, and soy oil lost 0.26 cents to 50.83 cents a pound. Today's Thursday. Ethanol reports out. Ethanol output dropped from a record last week, and the inventories were effectively unchanged, according to the Energy Information Administration. Production of the biofuel fell to an average of 1.105 million barrels a day in the week that ended on December 5th. That's down from 1.126 million. In the Midwest, the big boys average was 1.046 million barrels a day, down about 20,000 barrels a day. West Coast output was down by 1,000 to 9,000. East Coast was unchanged at 11,000 barrels, and Rocky Mountain was also steady at 11,000. The Gulf Coast was the lone gainer, coming up to 28,000 barrels a day from 26,000 barrels a day. Weather, according to the weather people, really not a lot going on. Just some winter weather up in Ohio, southern Ohio, Montana, in between those two there. Nothing crazy going on, but it says in eastern Iowa and northern Illinois, 2 to 4 inches of snow could be expected, with some isolated areas receiving up to 5 inches. Nothing going on down here but sunny, dry weather in western Oklahoma and the eastern Texas Panhandle. Today is the Oklahoma Farm Bureau break, so let's take an Oklahoma Farm Bureau break, brought to you by the Roger Mills County Farm Bureau.
He loves talking about farming and ranching. Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark.
You don't want to let your cotton set in the field day after day waiting to be gin. Now, to better serve you, the cotton farmers in Oklahoma and the Texas Panhandle, Lone Star Gin has processed over 540,000 bales of cotton. They've got locations in Pampa, Texas, and now in Burns Flat, Oklahoma. Lone Star Gin has the ability to process over 2,400 bales per day. All they do is gin cotton. Go to LoneStarGin.com for more information, and you can find them on Facebook.
Are you looking for the perfect place to call home this Christmas? Culverstone Homes in Elk City is here to make it happen. Step into a beautiful, energy-efficient home built for comfort, family, and lots of holiday memories. And if you need space for your toys, tools, or business, Cyclone Metal Buildings by Culverstone has you covered with durable, customizable buildings made to fit any lifestyle. Damon Culver and Terry Stone, along with their families and crew, would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This Christmas, be sure and visit Dameron Jewelers in downtown Elk City and enjoy savings throughout the store. You'll find Western Oklahoma's finest selection of diamonds, plus custom jewelry pieces, Fossil, Baby G, G-Shock, and Citizens men's and women's watches, unique gift ideas, and more. Holiday hours, they'll be open every Monday through Saturday after Thanksgiving through December 20th, and open Sunday, December 21st from 1 to 5, and Christmas Eve from 9 to 4. Remember, this holiday season, shop local, shop smart, shop Elk City, and shop Dameron Jewelers in downtown Elk City, where they're famous for diamonds.
Hey folks, this is EJ Gretaman with ASCO Equipment out of Elk City, Oklahoma. If you need rental equipment, I got your back. From excavators to wheel loaders, telehandlers, and forklifts, we rent the brands that you know and trust. With flexible terms, responsible service, and expert support, we're here to keep your job on track. Need equipment? We're on it here at ASCO Equipment. Visit ASCOEQ.com or stop by our Elk City branch, 513 West 20th here in Elk City, Oklahoma, or you can just give me a call, 580-243-9233. Appreciate it, folks, and y'all have a blessed day.
It helps to work with someone who's been down the same road you're traveling, someone who knows what you're up against and what you're going through. When it comes to farmers and ranchers, that's us. That's who we are. Our lenders know ag inside and out because we're producers too. We approach it like a partnership. We want to put ag producers in position to be successful. We're very laid back and easy to deal with, and people seem to like that. We think you'll like it too. I'm Marty Maddox. Great Plains Bank in Elk City is here to lend farmers and ranchers a helping hand. Member FDIC.
Need to dig it? Then it's time to rent it. But call 811 first and then head on over to DJ's Rentals and Sales and let their knowledgeable staff help you get it started. Whether it's a backhoe, a post hole digger, a mini excavator, or a skid steer that you need to help make that job a little easier. You can find them all and more at DJ's Rentals and Sales, 911 South Main Street in Elk City. Text them on the text line at 580-799-7214. Find and follow them on Facebook. And don't forget to call 811 first.
Next spring, you'll fire up the tractor turn the earth, plant the seed, and be on your way to another harvest. If you take care of your tractor right now. Before you put it up, do the maintenance so you'll be ready to go next spring. Everything you need to keep your tractor performing is at Camrock Supply. All the grease and hydraulic fluids and filters. All the nuts and bolts, all the tire patches. All the stuff is at Camrock Supply. All of it. Next to Fred's Steakhouse in Elk City. When it's time, make sure your tractor is ready to go.
Oh, Jimmy's all wound up and ready to go. Here comes more of Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Wellington, Texas. Here is your ag weather update for the Texas Panhandle. 63 degrees, humidity's 26, the dew point's 28. The winds are out of the southwest at 13 with wind gust up to 18. 33 100ths of an inch of rain so far in the month of December. 46 is the 8-inch soil temperature. And that is your ag weather update for big city of Wellington, Texas. Check it out. All right, let's go see what's happening with the board. Brought to you by Central Crop Care out of Hobart. Keith has all your spraying needs. You need a way to spray your chemicals or your put your liquid fertilizer down. He can take care of you. So give him a call. Big ad in the penny news too. December. Let's skip December. I'm tired of December. March wheat out of Kansas City, 521, down 2. May is 533, down 1 1/4. Wheat out of Chicago for March, 532, up 2 3/4. May is 540, up 2 1/4. Corn, March, 445, up 1 1/4. May is 453, up 1 1/2. Soybeans, January, 1093, up 2. March is 1102, up 1. Soybean oil, January, 5073, down 36. I think that's about it. Oh, soybean meal. There we go. I just scrolled down a little bit. January soybean meal, 302.30, up 110. And March is 307 even, up 70. There you go. Got that going on here. Let's see here. Yep. All right, let's check out some livestock. Let's see what's happening. Wee doggies, that board is green. All right. February lives, 231.67, up 315. April 231.07, up 270. June is 224.37, up 227. Feeders for January, 344.10, up 572. March is 338.10, up 527. April's 336.92, up 502. Huh. All right, good deal. Lean hogs, February, 84.25, up 182. April's 89.25, up 187. And that is your Central Crop Care out of Hobart, Oklahoma's grain market update. Okay, what do we want to do next? Let's talk about bulls. You ready? I'm going to talk about bulls and Christmas trees and all kinds of things in the next couple weeks to a month. Bull sales will be here next month, probably starting with I think probably the first ones will be at the Cattlemen's Congress in Oklahoma City, first couple weeks of January. If you guys haven't made plans, you need to make plans to go. Building the herd or even maintaining a herd that works for your unique operation and your unique environment and helps to enhance profitability, markability, and sustainability, there's that big word again, on your ranch requires due diligence. It begins at the sale for most operations when buying herd bulls, but it's easy to get swept up in those moments. Yeah, when your neighbor's outbidding you. There are always a handful of bulls that are right at the top of the sale, the ones everybody wants, but only a handful of people will be able to get that bull bought and take him home, said Robert Williams, Trust and Fund Sustainable Livestock Technical Manager. The reality is there's a lot of bulls at the sale that will fit differently in different programs. When genetics for reproduction, growth, functional trades, and efficiency align with cattle adapted to their environment, The result is a more sustainable beef production system. Williams brought together experts at the most recent Trust in Beef Sustainable Ranchers Tour stop in Kingsville, Texas, to share how you can change focus at the sale and reap the benefits for your operation. I can tell you, don't be hard headed. Don't think you need to get that one that's going to cost 30,000. Just get you a couple of them that cost 10,000. How's that? Lindsay Upperman, ABS Global Beef Genetic Services Manager, says the successful sale begins before you walk into the barn door. Start with what you need, she explains. What are the one or two trades that you're looking for to improve your next calf crop? Do you not have as much weaning weight? Do you need more fertility or reproductive efficiency in your females? What do you need? You need to have all this wrote down before you get there. Once you narrow your goals, Upperman said you can narrow the number of bulls that will fit within those percentile rankings. I know a lot of people don't like those numbers, but they help a lot, she explains. If you're choosing at the 50th percentile, that breeds average for that sire or that group of animals. If you choose above, you're doing better than the breed average in a given trait. Selecting animals in those upper percentile ratings moves or not ratings, but rankings, moves the herd average where genetic improvement is needed. But it's the top 1% always better? I don't know. Robert Wells, King Ranch Institute for Ranch Management professor of practice and endowed chair in the ranch management, cautions the top rankings can be deceiving. The top 1% is not always better, he stresses. Think about your environment. If you're down in South Texas, we're in a drought. Top 1% bull and lactation and milk is not where we need to be at. Let's see what else he says here. He adds, think about the mature size of your cow. I think that's the important part. How big are your cows? If you got a small cow, maybe you need to add a little bit. But if you got a large cow, then we don't want to select for those really, really heavy growth type individuals, especially if we're going to be making maternals happen. Then comes the bidding. Upperman recommends you stick to your plan in that decision as well. I think what they're saying is if you were going to bid up to 10,000, stick with that plan. Stick with it. He says, now, how much better dictates how much money you want to spend on the animal at the end of the day. Pick the 10 best bulls that fit maybe those 2 or 3 trades you're looking for to get into your next calf crop. Go from there and see what you can give. But I would say try to offset as best as you can, because obviously the more you pay, that doesn't mean the more you're going to get. 10 percentile points better, so definitely offset with what you're going to get. I'll argue with that. Some of the high-end bulls, more high-dollar bulls, they'll get you going. Wells says having a solid plan for the day means you're in a much better position when bidding begins. When you go to those auctions, it's really, really easy to get caught up in a moment. And next thing you know, the auctioneer is going really fast, and all of a sudden you're buying a $10,000 bull. Anybody ever been there before? Yeah, don't lie. Using EPDs does work every day of the year. Wells says using those EPDs to look at production practice parameters such as weaning weight, yearling weight, looking at your marbling scores. That's how the industry has been able to have this remarkable spurt up on our carcass characteristics. Taking into account genetic trades are the one way of the industry as a whole has seen significant improvement, but the same can hold true at the ranch gate as well. It can be huge, Wells says. I've seen producers that have increased their weaning weights by 100 pounds and not increase the cow size and not do anything different other than just putting the right genetics in that cow. And I amen that. Mine were up 50 to 70 pounds this last year using a different bull with the traits of my big semi-Angus cows. It works. Each breed can contribute unique genetics and characteristics. Successful ranchers find a way to leverage those traits alongside operational goals, the environment around them. Different breeds bring an asset to your herd, a special set of characteristics or traits that are going to offset the other part of the group. Well, shares a critical tip that can help differentiate breed selection at the sale. Your cow works 365 days a year, so match your cow to your environment, but match your bull to your market. Think about the breed for the cows, because she has to work every day of the year. The bulls work 60, maybe 90 days. Make sure that cow fits your environment, because if she doesn't fit your environment, it's like trying to push a rope up a hill. It's not going to be very successful. No matter what is out there at the next bull sale, Upperman says the primary tool you have is your gut. I say that's true. All right, let's take a Oklahoma Farm Bureau break. We'll be right back after this.
He loves talking about farming and ranching. Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark.
You know, I think the best advice that I could give a young couple is to go sit down and talk to an insurance agent. I see a lot of young couples, they're just getting online. I mean, they're just clicking the button and clicking what's cheap. And, well, if I click this, it makes it a little cheaper. But if I click that, it makes it go up. Well, there's a reason why it goes up. You need to know what you're paying for. And if you're paying for it, you need to make sure you've got the right coverage. You know, another piece of advice I would give is when you go in and talk to that agent, you need to discuss getting some life insurance. It doesn't have to be me. Any agent can help with that. But a young couple, you need to go in and sit down and talk to someone and understand what you're doing. You know, a term policy on a younger couple, it's a whole lot less expensive than what people think. And the younger you buy it, the cheaper it is. It's worth finding out how minimal that expense is, because it's life-changing if it's needed. That would be my best advice. Hi, I'm Mickey Lively. I'm an insurance agent with Oklahoma Farm Bureau. My office is located in Greer County. Call me anytime at 580-782-3827.
Your farm deserves only the best, and that's why Valley Genuine Parts are crafted to meet the highest standards to elevate your pivot's performance, covering all your pivot needs. Valley Genuine Parts provide optimal operation and extend the life of your pivots, from drivetrain components to sprinkler parts. Invest in the best for your farm. Valley is your partner in irrigation success. Stop by Knutson Irrigation or call 1-800-373-9325 or online at KnutsonIrrigation.com.
Just when you thought the holidays couldn't get any better, this happens. Through New Year's Eve, Barbara Ford is offering 0% interest for 5 years on all 25 Escapes, 0% interest for 5 years on all 25 Explorers, 0% interest for 5 years on all 25 Transit Vans, and 0% interest for 5 years on all F-150s and select Super Duties, and make no payments for 90 days. Finish the year in style at Barbara Ford in Elk City, online at barbaradysonford.net.
Kent Watkins here with SEI Agritech in Elk City, Oklahoma. Are feral hogs causing damage to your land and crops? Try Kaput, our highly effective bait designed specifically for feral hog control. Kaput targets hogs where it hurts, helping you protect your property and your livestock. Don't wait for the damage to get worse. Call us or stop by today at SEI Agritech on South Randall in Elk City to learn more about Kaput. Follow us on Facebook for the latest updates and solutions.
You've got a problem, an issue, you can usually sit down and we can get it figured out while you're there. If it's something that we can't figure out right that day, it's usually within a day, because everybody's accessible. If there's something that needs to be done loan-wise, we can get that ran to wherever it needs to go. Or if you just need help up front with some accounts or whatnot, I can walk you up there and introduce you to somebody and hang out with you and talk you through it. I can explain to Tammy or Tori or someone up front, hey, we've been discussing this. This is where we're at.
I'm Utah Robinson, and I help make the difference. First National Bank and Trust of Elk City and Sayre.
Member FDIC.
Cattlemen's Congress in the heart of cattle country is a lot more than just a cattle show. See for yourself January 4th through the 14th at the fairgrounds in Oklahoma City. The newest and most elite genetics North American cattlemen have to offer will be there. Cattlemen's Congress is the gathering place of the cattle industry and provides sales of elite genetics, something for every operation. Enjoy the commercial Cattlemen's Luncheon January 8th at 11 a.m. with the commercial female replacement sale at 1 p.m. For a full schedule and sale information, visit cattlemenscongress.com.
He loves to talk about farming and ranching. Here's more of Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Here's your Northwestern Oklahoma Ag Weather Update for Arnett, 63 degrees, dew point's 32, humidity's 32, southwest winds out of the south at 5 miles an hour, 3-day average 4-inch bare soil temperature 43 degrees, sunset at 5:25, sunny and 73 today, 39 and clear tonight, and 55 for tomorrow, mostly sunny. A little northern comes in tonight, so be ready for it. Okay, so you guys heard about the $12 billion relief package for farmers. I'm going to let you guys listen to this so you don't have to call your FSA or insurance or whoever you use. You get a better feel of what they're thinking and timelines. So listen to this for a second.
We're joined by Richard Fordyce. He's the Undersecretary for Farm Production and Conservation. Undersecretary, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you taking time. Let's talk about these bridge payments, the announcement that came out on Monday from the President and the Secretary of Ag. What's the takeaway here?
Well, Clinton, I tell you, we have been looking at the impacts of, honestly, a lot of components related to agriculture. Some prices that are not kind of where we want to see them from the commodity perspective, and certainly inputs that seem to be very reluctant to come down, whether that's fertilizer, crop protection, seed, equipment, fuel. We're seeing some relief in fuel. We're seeing a little bit of relief in interest rates, but certainly the budgets in farm country as it relates to crops are pretty tough right now.
Yeah, obviously that's been a big part of this whole conversation as we go out and try to make some of these trade agreements and get those done. Let's get into a little bit of the bridge payment. Tell me about the amount and what work needs to be done. There are some dates and some timelines that have to be focused on here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you're right. And so the total amount in the announcement yesterday at the White House was $12 billion. Of the 12, we're gonna use $11 billion in economic support. And as you said, Clinton, we're gonna refer to that as a bridge payment to get out to the OBA provisions. And so, while we're implementing this farmer bridge assistance program, we're also working on OBA provisions, and most of those will be in effect. One of the bigger ones that we continue to refer to is the change in reference prices as it relates to ARC and PLC payments, and the increase in those reference prices is going to really, I think, make a big difference from a safety net standpoint. But it's $11 billion for the crops that are listed, and so it's your Title I crops plus some pulse crops, and those. That $11 billion is going to be paid out in a per acre payment. And so some dates that producers need to be aware of, we're going to leave acreage reporting open until December 19th. And at that point, at the end of the day, on December 19th, we're going to lock those acreage report opportunities down. The reason behind that is we need to know what the universe of acres is distributed across all these crops.
Right.
And so, okay, so yeah, go ahead, Clinton.
Oh, I was just going to say, so do we need to go into FSA to make sure that we've got that correct?
So I'm going to guess 99% of acreage reports are complete, but we just want to give folks that maybe haven't done an acreage report up to this point the opportunity to get that acreage report filed. And so, your viewers are going to say, well, gosh, didn't I do an acreage report, by July 15th last year? And you likely did. And then the subsequent before that, the year before that, like fall seeded crops, wheat, etc. If you did that acreage report in the fall of 24, then you have an acreage report filed. But it's for the folks that have not done one, maybe historically don't do them.
Okay.
An opportunity for those folks to get that done.
In terms of formula here, talk to me about how that works. What's the math going to look like in terms of what these payments may end up being? Obviously, we don't know specifically what they're going to be per crop yet.
Right. So at a high level, we have cost of production numbers that are almost exclusively generated by the Economic Research Service here at USDA. We have the 2025 planted acres through the Farm Service Agency and the acreage reporting that happens there. And then, we've got an economic model that will arrive at a price. And that calculation is not quite complete yet, but we do have the data to select a price for each one of those crops. And so when acreage reporting is finished, locked down, we know the universe, then we can publicly announce the payment rates by crop. And the hope is to have that announcement out the week of December 22nd. And the reason we wanted to get that done before the first of the year is that it's going to give some certainty to producers that this is what my payment's going to look like if they're trying to secure financing for the 2026 crop year. Understanding kind of where they are financially and where this bridge payment will come in and make a difference. So hopefully the rates, the rates will be out that week of December 22nd.
It's safe to say that they're going to be, a little different based on crop and all of the numbers that you're calculating into that. Things like cotton, rice may be different than corn, soybeans. Is that a safe assumption?
Yeah, I think certainly the payment rate will be reflective of kind of where we are, from a price, a cost of production, and that'll be specific crop to crop for sure.
The release yesterday said looked like maybe February 28th. That's the goal, to get these out, and that's pretty.
Yeah. So, that's the goal. So as you know, when you stand up any federal farm program, there's some work that needs to be done, before those payments go out. There's a rulemaking process. There's got to be some staff training, certainly at the local FSA county office level. There's some software development to be able to deploy the program and make payments. So, it's a self-imposed deadline for ourselves to try to get those payments out, as close as we can to February 28th.
As we look into 2026, obviously USDA has been focused really hard on kind of getting through this first year. What's on your list of to-dos in the new year? What do you think American agriculture needs going forward here, so we don't have to keep coming back to the well?
Well, the FPAC mission area, literally houses the three most farmer-facing agencies. That's FSA, NRCS, and RMA. And I mentioned the OBA provisions earlier, and Congress delivered a lot of improvements to the programs that we administer here at FPAC, whether that's crop insurance, so better tools, better coverage, hopefully lower premiums, for risk management tools. And so we are in the process right now of implementing those provisions in OBA at RMA. NRCS, certainly, additional dollars for conservation practices. When we think about sustainability, and I don't necessarily like that word, but resiliency on a farm across this country, NRCS plays a critical role in helping farmers get into a position where that farm is more resilient. And so the tools that are available through NRCS, again, with some provisions within OBA, we're busy trying to get those implemented and across the finish line. Kind of while doing all of that, we're taking a really hard look at the technology that we use across all three agencies, knowing it's not sufficient to where we need to be. We need to meet farmers and ranchers and landowners where they are, match up with the technology that they use, make that visit, make that service that we provide better and more closely aligned with the technology that they're using. And honestly, we could have a whole conversation around that at some point. Yeah. But we are truly trying to get to a place where technology is serving us and helping us do the mission that we're asked to do in the country.
Undersecretary Fordyce, sure appreciate you taking a few minutes to walk us through this, and good luck in the new year as you take on some of those new endeavors there at the agency.
All right, there you go. Ooh, turn that up a little loud. Okay. In this deal, there's some estimates, and all they are is estimates of what some of the crops are going to end up paying. And so don't hold me to it because it says right here, estimates. That's all it says, estimates. For corn, $48.35 an acre. Soybeans, $31.77. Wheat, $37.38. Cotton, $99.15. Rice, $107.98. Sorghum, $50.19. And I know peanuts and some other crops are in there, but this is the only projected payments that they listed. So there you go. Corn's $48.35 an acre. Soybeans, $31.77 an acre. Wheat, $37.38 an acre. Cotton, $99.15 an acre. And rice is $107.98. Sugar Daddy should have been having some rice under those pivots over at Delhi, is all I can say. That's a pretty good chunk of money. And then sorghum's $50.19. All right. Let's take a Oklahoma Farm Bureau break, and we'll be back to finish the show up.
Oh, Jimmy's all wound up and ready to go. Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark.
Do you love the great outdoors? Maybe you enjoy trap shooting or skeet shooting, or maybe getting some target practice in at the firing range is your thing. If you're that person, you love guns. Hobart Farm and Garden has a whole room dedicated to guns, gun safes, ammunition, and more. It's quite impressive. You got to go check it out. They are Western Oklahoma's platinum Browning dealer and Glock stocking dealer. They're located at 1030 South Monroe in Hobart, Oklahoma. If they don't have it, you don't need it. Hobart Farm and Garden.
As a farmer or rancher, you're always looking for ways to save time and money. The Apache Hay Wagon from Everett's Welding in Visay, Oklahoma will help you do just that. The Apache Hay Wagon eliminates 80 to 90% of hay waste with its unique design. It hauls multiple bales, saving you time and money. Go by Everett's Welding today and ask to see the Apache Hay Wagon. You'll be glad you did. You can also visit them online at everettswelding.com.
You could get specific and get them heated jackets and vests. You could get a Milwaukee Tools or Carlisle Tools or a toolbox. You could even get a new driver, a car detailing kit. If you know what they want or what they need, you can get specific. Or you can do the easy thing and get them a Napa gift card for Christmas. Don't forget the stockings, air fresheners for the car, flashlights, gloves, tumblers. How about phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers, or hand warmers? You know who's got all of this. Napa Auto Parts of Elk City. 716 West 3rd.
You farmers like saving money on stuff you gotta have? You can save instantly when you buy 2 or more eligible Bridgestone or Firestone ag tires at Blair Tire and Feed. Get $300 off all eligible AD, 2IF, and VF radial tires and Bridgestone radials. Get $200 off all eligible non-AD2 radial tires. And get $25 off Destination Farm and Destination Turf. Blair Tire and Feed at the Crossroads in Blair, Oklahoma. Save instantly on the tires you gotta have. This is the Western Oklahoma Livestock Auction Market Report for Monday, December 8th. 1,302 head were sold. 5 head of steers at 501 brought $437.50. 4 at 564 brought $430. 9 at 597 brought $395. 11 at 634 brought $385. 8 at 680 brought $355. 13 at 746 brought $336. 17 at 897 brought $310. 9 head of heifers at 431 brought $450. 3 at 478 brought $367.55. 8 at 535 brought $380. 13 at 712 brought $330. 18 at 745 brought $320. 4 at 900 brought $272.50. Butcher cows were 58 to 170. Butcher bulls 130 to 189. Bred cows 1475 to 3,800. Pairs brought 3,050 to 3,350. Western Oklahoma Livestock Auction Exit 71, Clinton, Oklahoma. Sale every Monday at 10 a.m. To consign, call Brandon Hickey 580-497-6095.
An I-40 acreage near Canute can be yours Monday, December 29th. The seller is Jerry Bohannon, and his 21 acres of land are on the west edge of Canute. Auction will be at the property at 1 p.m. Prime I-40 Route 66 land. XIT Auctions is conducting the auction. For information, call Aubrey Latham, 580-393-4440. Online at xitauctions.com. 21 acres on I-40 on the west side of Canute will sell Monday, December 29th at 1 p.m. XIT Auctions, ready to work for you.
Now, back to more of Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark.
U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins announced late last week that changes were coming to federal crop insurance processes. The expanding access to risk protection final rule streamlines requirements across multiple crops and was influenced by producer feedback. Secretary Rollins said, quote, President Trump is cutting burdensome regulations and strengthening the farm safety net to ensure the future viability of American agriculture. Across the Trump administration, we're removing burdensome regulations that were strangling small businesses. For every new regulation, President Trump has eliminated a remarkable 48, lifting a weighted blanket from the American economy. With this new rule, we're delivering real, meaningful relief by modernizing the system, expanding access to crop insurance, and making it easier, not harder, for farmers and ranchers to protect their operations and keep doing the work that keeps America fueled and fed. We are continuing to put farmers first every step of the way. The final rule reduces regulatory burdens by improving land access through preventive planning relief, streamlining production reporting, expanding direct marketing options, simplifying dispute resolution, and deregulating coverage dates. The rule also addresses additional policy updates, including implementing provisions from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, revenue protection clarifications, and crop-specific improvements. The public comment period for this rule is open until January 27, 2026, and producers are encouraged to contact their local crop insurance agent or visit the RMA website for additional guidance. I'm Dale Sandlin with Southeast AgNet.
All right, to give you the guys that update there. Here is your Hobart Farm and Garden ag weather update for southwestern Oklahoma. 63 degrees, dew point's 25, humidity's 23. The winds are out of southwest at 18 miles an hour. 3-day average 4-inch bare soil temperature, 44 degrees. Sunset at 5:25, mostly sunny and 68 today. 39 for a low tomorrow or tonight, and sunny and 60 degrees tomorrow with northeast winds 12 to 21 miles per hour. How about that? Okay. Got some things to share with you real quick. Tomorrow, I'm actually going to be doing my show at the Ace Hardware store here in Elk City. They got their grand opening coming up Saturday. And I thought it'd be cool to just go do my show down there tomorrow. Nothing special going on. I'm just going to be down there doing my show. Get a chance, stop by during the noon hour, and I'll be in there somewhere in there, right in as you walk in the door. So, but talk about the Elk City grand opening of the new store. They built a new store, got a new parking lot. It's really nice. Coming up this Saturday, store opens at 7:30. 9 a.m. is the ribbon cutting with the chamber. 10 to 2 p.m. food trucks. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. pictures with Santa. 10 a.m. to 4 o'clock vendor participation. And then what we got? Oh, Sean the man will be there from 12 to 4 o'clock with the KECO Roadshow. And then 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and 6 p.m., there's going to be some giveaway drawings. This is all Saturday. There's a grill, a Yeti cover, cooler, $250 gift card, a DeWalt kit, a vendor swag, red balloons, free refreshments, coffee, donuts, hot cocoa. Then they're going to have a hot cocoa bar, it looks like. That's all coming up this Saturday at the Ace Hardware store here on South Main. You can't miss it. Big new store. It's where Terry's Furniture used to be, and beautiful store. Got some cool stuff in there too. Grand opening is this Saturday starting at 7:30 a.m. with all kinds of activities starting at 9 a.m. and lasting all day. So I'll be there tomorrow just to warm everybody up. And then what else we got here? They got all kinds. There's nobody around here today. Everybody's gone to do these ball games. ParagonTV.com. Basketball heads into the tournament week, and they are playing right now. Let's see here. It looks like Cheyenne Raiden's already played. We got Arapahoe Butler girls at Lookaby Sickles at 3 o'clock. Cheyenne Raiden at Balco Forgan at 4:15. And Arapahoe Butler boys play Leedy at 6:45. Lady girls play Balco Forgan at 5:30. This is all happening at the South Canadian Classic. Check that out on Paragon TV. And in the Best of the Southwest tournament, Eric girls visit Boise City at 8:20 tonight. And then Chattanooga tournament is going on. And Sentinel girls play Granville at 1:10. Sentinel Bulls, boys, not Bulls, visit Fletcher at 2:30. That's all coming up here pretty quick. Horsetail State Bake Classic, Canute girls versus Burns Flat Deal City at 12:30. That's underway. Just got underway, and then I think Canute boys already played. And then Moreland tournament is Merritt boys visits Texoma at 2:15 today. Miko tournament, Hammond girls visit Southwest Covenant at 11 a.m. That already played. Hammond boys versus the Academy at 3 p.m. Don't miss a minute. Watch live TV, live or demand at ParagonTV.com, and check out classics 24/7, the free channel streaming nonstop replays, and the classic matchups only at Paragon TV. So how about that? Next Saturday, December the 20th, will be the Euler Christmas Showdown Swine Jackpot. Cards are due at 9 a.m. Show starts at 10 a.m. Wheel winners will be the judge. It's at the Merritt Activity Barn there on Merritt Road at the school here in Elk City. And you got any questions, you can call Justin Sam, 918-607-2977, or Maddie Nation, 918-344-9245. I think that's about all that's going on that I need to talk about. I think. Oh, nominate a hero. So in the Penny News, I don't remember what page it was on. I just seen it in there a while ago. Nominate a hero for a $250 prize for a KECO sponsor. Tell us their story. In 15 seconds, let's see, 13, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 60 seconds. Let's do that spot. This Christmas, help us spotlight Western Oklahoma's quiet do-gooders. Nominate a Santa's Christmas hero on KECO 96.5 FM. Think of a selfless person who's always helping. Winner gets a $250 prize from a KECO sponsor. We'll post the photos on Facebook. Quick entry deadline is coming up December 23rd at 11:59 p.m. You can do this by just going to KECOFM.com to nominate a hero, and $250 would go a long ways with some people short this year. I think that's it for that. What else I got to talk about here? Boy, I tell you what, my old head is pounding. Whew. That 2 3/8 pipe didn't give away any at all. Well, some parts of Oklahoma, we put up a lot of hay this past summer, and some parts put up a lot of hay, but not so good hay. Got rained on, and et cetera, and blah, blah, blah. And maybe got mature, waiting on it to maturity, waiting on it to, hopefully it didn't get rained on. So we know that hay quality across most of the states, like in Ohio, is poor this year. They ran into the same thing we did here in Oklahoma. Out of 180 samples submitted as part of an OSU e-barns program from 29 counties, only one, listen to this, only one of these samples met the energy or TDN requirements for a 1,200-pound lactating beef cow. For sheep and goats, that means that the forage is poor yet. As we head into winter, have a plan in place to maintain animals on the pasture will be key. I have these types of discussions with producers fairly often, and usually not always, supplementing additional energy in the diet system to aid in rectifying the situation. As managers, we must remember that livestock utilize nutrients and waste, not hierarchy. Think of the order of operations where maintenance, development, growth, lactation, reproduction, and fattening. That's the order it goes in. Therefore, an animal that is not maintaining body condition is less likely to reproduce. The first calf heifer that is thin at weaning weight still has a requirement for growth and development before we ever think about getting her to the point where she will breed back in a timely fashion. How do we address the lack of energy in the pasture-based system? Supplementation is some form or fashion is the most likely response. But I mainly supplement strategies. I have many supplement strategies that vary greatly in effectiveness and cost. Additional forage, aka hay. The strategy can work depending on the class of the animal and the quality of the hay. A high quality second or third cutting, well kept round bale hay can often meet the needs of mature animals of the herd. In the case of the thin, the first calf heifer, unless the hay is of exceptional quality, it might keep her belly full, but is unlikely to get her to the desired body condition. Hay quality varies tremendously from farm to farm. Consider dry matter loses when buying hay. The year-old bale that has sat uncovered in a fence row somewhere, no matter what the cost, is still overpriced when you consider dry matter loss. Too often in these instances, I see tubs rely on as a cure-all. Look at all those specs on that tub and the ingredients, and then compare it to the cost. Tubs may have a place in a stocker situations, providing weaned calves with some protein, but considering the cost and energy provided, they are likely nor cost effective in providing supplemental energy to grazing stock. Also, not all tubs are created equal. To a degree, you get what you're paid for. Grain, pound for pound, supplementing grain, typically whole shell corn, is a cost effective and effective way to supplement energy in a grazing operation. Once we know the energy requirement of our livestock, we can calculate the pounds of corn per day for most instances. Research conducted at Ohio State looking at the supplemental energy requirements of a third trimester bred heifer in muddy conditions versus those in dry conditions demonstrated that only 2.5 pounds of corn was needed to maintain body conditions at $7 a bushel. I wonder where he's getting that at. This is a cost of 25% or 25 cents per head. Still very cost effective when compared to longer breeding intervals in open cows. Bottom line, supplemental energy is often needed to maintain grazing livestock through a typical winter. Consider cost and energy density of feedstuffs when making the decision to supplement animals on the pasture. It's not hard to do, everybody. It's we're doing the liquid feed in the tanks, and they get what they want. Even the calves can get what they want, and the landlord's checked out the specs on it and getting what he thinks his cow wants. And one of them's got some really old cows out there, and they look pretty good, especially for having some calves on them right now, which I took him off today, so they're going to even look better. So their score is going to go up pretty quick. All right. Well, don't know. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here. I guess we'll talk to you tomorrow from Ace Hardware.
You've been listening to Today in Ag with Jimmy Clark on 96.5 KECO.